unbeknownst to us, we're starting to fade a little bit here.
Yeah.
We need to refuel. We're not going to lie to you. We will rebound, but clearly we almost walked past a winged ass.
Thanks to your discerning eye.
You know what I mean? I'm really just locked into the experience. I'm going to use the cheesy zoom. I have to. Why don't you just break down what you see here, Steve?
It appears to be a cherub.
Cherub of sorts.
Symbol of, you know, fertility. It's a winged cherub.
Speak up, the mic's on the other side.
Yes, a winged cherub up there. And it may be wrong, but it appears to be a winged asp up there, which the cherub is reining in.
A flying snake-like creature for those who don't...
Yep.
Yeah, asp.
We have winged asp up there.
Yeah. Splendid. There's griffins on the other side. Those are griffins, I believe, some sort of... All right, well, I mean, we got a lot to do. A lot to do. Let's...
What you'll note up there on the wall is the Caduceus of Hermes, which is, you might recognize it as the symbol for modern medicine and whatnot.
So is this nefarious by its very nature?
Well, you know, usually anything serpent symbolic is highly suspect, you know? Especially if you choose to believe about the anything that's serpent or dragon related is somehow related to Atlantis, or the like the Nephilim, or the potential alien origins of us. I don't know how much you choose to ascribe to that stuff. I personally myself am on the fence about that. But there's a lot of serpent, you know, anything that's serpent related is generally regarded to just be old. You know, the Mayans, you know, the Aztecs, lots of them had serpent symbolism. So what's going on there, you know? I do wish they still made them like this, esoteric or not. All the dragons are crowned.
Yes.
A little vestibule with a sphere in it. It's beautiful. Let's head down Central Park South and see what else we can see.
All right,
I'm pretty sure we'll get some juice. The little bird's nest up on that conker balls up there.
Good on it.
You can never be 100% sure of these things, but the connotations are there. You know, we have a crest up there of some sort.
I'm gonna pan over to it, but talk me through it.
It seems to be, you know, the crest of Argentina. It's certainly a pass grip of some sort. you know, there's different types of handshakes among these secret societies, so that essentially, you know, you're able to determine, you know, other than just hearsay, whether someone is a member of an illuminated fraternity.
Okay, well, anything you want to finish on the grips? Kind of petered off there.
Oh yeah, well, not necessarily.
Maybe if we find another example of a grip.
Yeah, maybe something that's a little more blatant.
Like what is it? Grip Judah, the lion.
Oh, the strong grip of the lion's paw. I believe it looks something like this.
Perhaps we'll find an example there.
Perhaps, yeah. You know.
All right.
This is how Hiram Abiff was resurrected from the grave, apparently.
All right.
Third Masonic level. Oh boy, no. Tantra.
Just a few steps from where we were a moment ago. Let's start first with the top down. Like Steve done that.
Looks as though there's multiple crests from different countries here. Venezuela, Panama, Ecuador, Peru,
Yes.
Bolivia.
Yes.
Some of the symbolism here with this first one, for example.
Let's talk into it.
Rising sun motif, esoteric. Cornucopia, definitely pagan, fertility, bounty, worship. This here is the exact representation of what is in the Bible referred to as the wheel of Ezekiel. Ezekiel, there's this passage in Ezekiel where Ezekiel sees what some people say is, you know, a UFO or whatever, but it's a wheel within a wheel with wings and everything. And this is a pretty approximate representation of how some biblical people have represented it.
Yes.
Above, you know, we know it's a phoenix. You can tell it's not an eagle because the phoenix has a little top knot, as it were. You see a little tuft here by the hair.
Yeah.
Eagles don't have a tuft like this, only phoenixes do.
That's true.
Phoenix is a mythological bird which periodically slays itself and is reborn out of its own ashes. It's a symbol of death and resurrection, which is a big thing in the esoteric belief system. Up above, 9 stars. If you interpret it Masonically, it's you know, the 9 stars representing the 9 levels of the York Rite.
Yes.
So you see that a lot of these crests are similar, and you have to wonder what is the symbolism? What is it that, you know, links all these things? What is it? Why choose these things if they're not exactly directly explained in the culture? Ask anyone, ask any citizen of this of any of these countries what the hell this stuff means. Nobody knows. You know, it's all very ponderous. Horizontal fasciae there. Just pan in on that.
Yeah. Don't, I mean, make sure.
You see it?
Yeah, now I do. Yep.
Yep. Classic fasciae.
That's a full-blown fascia with the up to and including the axe handle.
Yeah.
Protruding.
Yeah.
Throughout the fascia.
Have you learned a thing or two about fasciae?
I have.
Been here?
Most definitely. Across the board, it's really with all things Masonic, esoteric, Illuminati, Satanic, Luciferian.
And as you said, that is the classic fascia, which is a bundle of sticks lashed together by bands with an axe head protruding out of it. And it is the symbol of fascism.
Sure is. Some sort of winged beast and a crowned something right there.
Dragons, little winged cherub. Just interesting how this stuff is all in front of us. You ask anybody of the general public what any of it means, and nobody knows. So what does it mean to who? And you have to ask yourself, what is the need? What is the expressed need and purpose for all this?
Good question.
antediluvian origins. You know the word antediluvian? Deluge is a flood. Antediluvian is pre-flood. So, you know, Atlantis is the antediluvian civilization. Talk to me. You know, merely an architectural flair which resembles the compass and square of the Masonic orders. You know. What is it you'd like to hear about? Perhaps wondering about the whole Statue of Liberty symbolism and exactly. Well, right behind me here we have. Statue of Liberty of sorts. Well, a lot of people don't know. I don't know if I can get into too much detail about that. Okay, cut to the chase, he says. Essentially, the Statue of Liberty is a symbol for a prostitute which the public had enthroned on the altar of Notre Dame Cathedral as the culmination of the French Revolution, where they enthroned this partially clothed prostitute on the altar and gave her a light, a torch, to hold aloft, representing essentially the light of Lucifer. So that's what you have there in New York Harbor. It's not this beautiful, wonderful thing about freedom so much as it is, you know, Goddess Columbia, Athena, Minerva, whatever you like, holding the light of Lucifer aloft. 9 rays coming out of her crown, potentially representing the, you know, 9 degrees in the York Rite. The torch representing the light of Lucifer, of nothingness. The date 1776 engraved in her tablet, which, while most people associate that with, you know, the founding of America or whatever, is also coincidentally the year that the Illuminati Ordinen, the Bavarian Illuminati, came into being within the Freemasonic system in England. A lot of double meaning going on there.
Of like a winged demon dog.
I would make that as a satanic symbol. Nothing short.
Their wings, that building is wreathed in winged demon dogs.
Perfectly benign.
Nothing.
No ulterior meaning there. There's nothing going on.
As I slowly pan back to that Masonic lodge behind us. Huge gilded fat guy. Inverted pump eye.
Chance this was even built before like Hitler's reign, you know. The swastika is an ancient pagan symbol for the sun, and usually when the legs point in one direction it's male, when they point in the other direction it's female. Essentially it's all sun worship. Rockefeller snapped up a bunch of land on the east side, everything. Memorial Sloan Kettering, where the hospital is now. The United Nations plot of land used to be Rockefeller's land. And it's all esoteric because you know, the the esoteric set, they worship the sun in the east. They worship the rising sun. So that's why all the esoteric stuff is on the east side. More so than the west, for sure. It's known as the Star of David, but it really has nothing to do with the Star of David. It's really just an old, ancient symbol that was adopted by Israel and the Jews as the Star of David, but it's much older than that. It's just a sacred geometry symbol, you know. And esoterically speaking, you've got the inverted triangle and the upright triangle. You know, the downward triangle is a representation of the female, and the upward triangle is the strong phallus, as it were, ever aimed upward. I much prefer to these new blank, plain buildings, steel and glass, you know? Give me the old stonework, you know?
Even though it's steeped in satanic and Luciferian and possibly Masonic messages, you don't have a problem with that?
We're just reading into stuff. It's really just benign little shapes and symbols.
Are you sure you're just not trying to cover your own ass right now? Because you know this is going down on tape. You don't want to be smoted by some sort of black operative.
Top of skull, smote.
You know I'll be taking some sort of communal sacrament out of your smoted
skull. Yeah, you better. If I go down, you better at least smarten up and get in league with these guys.
I'll know how to stand at least when I'm in court.
Yes, exactly. Upper East Side, like, we're like among, like, you know, the most elite of elites. A lot of these people walking by us on the street, we have no idea who these people are. You know, this is where people come to live. Here on Park Ave, Upper East Side. You know, families.
Lodge meetings.
Yeah, lodge meetings, everything is here. Synagogues, you know, Kabbalah, Theosophy, it's all here. Theosophical Society.
Group masturbation.
Yes, absolutely. We're about to walk by the building of the Council on Foreign Relations, which is one of the hinge pins of the shadow government, if you wish to phrase it that way.
I would.
You know, part of the Trilateral Commission, the Council of Foreign Relations, and the Bilderberg Group are all, you know, kind of what make up the shadow government that tell our government what to do. And this very building, I forget when it was built, but essentially this building we're about to show you is where a lot of really, really nasty planning goes down, and has for the last 50 years or so.
Sit down. It's probably a cornerstone right here. I'm going to touch it.
Council on Foreign Relations.
Do you feel like you're out of range enough that you want to discuss this building?
No.
Move down the street.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Steve. We're out of range.
We're standing across the street from the CFR, Council of Foreign Relations. It's one of the many little headquarters where shadow government does its thing, discussing things about, you know, toppling governments and erosion of constitutions, and just playing with society in general as though we were chess pieces.
Interesting observation, Steve.
Yes.
You know,
The owl is kind of, you know, a symbol of being able to see in the dark, being able to see things that are hidden from others. There's an owl god from, you know, back in the day in the area of, you know, Canaan or, you know, Babylon, and the owl god's name is Molech, M-O-L-E-C-H, Molech. Molech. You can see in the dark, you can see things that others cannot. Yes, occult, dictionary definition of the word occult is hidden or obscured. Molech was worshipped at the Bohemian Grove, which is a place in California where all higher ups, you know. Oh, certainly, yeah. It's the Bohemian Club. The symbol of it is an owl. And, you know, various elites have their own little camps there where they get together and, you know, do worship this owl Molech. They have a ceremony at the beginning of the season, or the event, if you will, called the Cremation of Care, where they essentially burn this effigy of a human being, and where they cremate all the care they have in the world. They decide to just go, you know, get, you know, debauch, you know, for a week or so. They prostitution, and all kinds of stuff. It's really not worth discussing. Well, I was kind of going to skirt around that, but yeah. Yeah.
Alright.
So Molech would be the owl.
Good stuff.
Yeah. And it's just a bunch of triangles, or is it? I mean, come on. Open your eyes. Use your brain. Use critical thinking for once. That's Masonic. Come on. People are Satanists. Where are you seeing this?
Chalice full of serpents. Let me just pull out. Hold on. Pulling out from Chalice of Serpents. So, Steve, might be a time to quickly just talk about the Jesuits and the Jesuit order while we're here. Here's a quick breakdown.
Can't confirm or deny whether this is, you know, a Jesuit outfit or not.
No,
But, you know, the Jesuit essentially being the intelligence department of the Vatican, and being, you know, the darker side of the Vatican. They tend to pull the strings in the background. And I notice the most is the inverted triangles up there in the stained glass.
yeah.
Up there.
I'm sure it's just an architectural piece, but
Of course, yeah, they're just little architectural flares, that's all.
how does the architectural flair is that?
You see the pontiff inside the door there?
Let me just get to him. Yeah, let me creep down on him. Is that a top knot he's got on his fucking head?
Wish we had a phone book. I wish your phone was working. We'd look up where the Theosophical Society is. Almost. 53rd between Mad and 3rd. So it's further down than I thought. We can go by it.
Fucking sneak that one by on me. Alright, Steve, you had to do a little social engineering to find the address on this place. But I can clearly see why you're making such a
Oh, this
fuss
isn't
about
it.
Oh, this isn't even it?
No, this is just a synagogue here.
This isn't it. exactly the location we were looking for. But
No, it was decoy. It's dummy location.
yeah, not surprised.
Yeah. Theosophical Society, founded 1800s by Madame Helena Petrovna Blavatsky. Torch carried on by Annie Hall and Annie Besant, I believe. Basically takes a lot of the old Egyptian mysteries, combines them with Freemasonry, adds in a pinch of Rosicrucianism, which is all really tied together, and you know, lays down the theory for, you know, modernizes the old ancient mysteries for the people, you know, as a full-blown theosophy instead of just a bunch of disjointed information, you know. This they have a little presentation, Jiddu Krishnamurti here. This is the guy that made that quote that I really like about how, oh damn, I forget exactly how it goes, but you're not really to subscribe in any ideas, beliefs, philosophies at all. Which kind of, Krishnamurti definitely was an influence on these guys. And you can see they have the other lectures, Mystical Kabbalah and Theosophy, Collapse of Civilization.
Good folks down here.
Yeah. ISIS Unveiled.
Ooh. Let me just quickly grab the shot.
There's a nice shot of Madame Helena Petrovna Blavatsky right
herself. I wish I could do some fancy full focus stuff, but
Russian mystic.
the Hitler really loved that.
Yeah.
Buff, if you will.
But you know, here you have the two triangles. Here you have the serpent eating its own tail, which is known as the Ouroboros.
Yeah.
You know, symbol of death and resurrection once again. Here you have a version of a swastika.
Pretty.
You know, right above it there, you have the Om of the Hindu people, the Om. And here you have the Ankh, the Egyptian Ankh. So it's quite a full-featured logo, wouldn't you say? Yeah.
Salad bar, if you will.
Yeah. Certainly. The Theosophical Society of New York.
Delicious.
Not a lot to read into that.
It's pretty straightforward.
Right in the face.
Pretty straightforward.